When you enter the room, the air changes. People can feel your presence before you even speak. It's not about your height, your clothes, or how loud you are. It's the way you carry yourself, calm, steady, sure of who you are. When you walk in with purpose, others notice without even realizing it. Think about someone you've met who made you sit up straighter, who made you pay attention without saying a word. That's the kind of presence you need to build. It comes from how you see yourself, from the way you treat your own time and energy. If you respect yourself, others will follow your lead. You won't have to demand attention. The air changes because you've already claimed it. Power without shouting. The art of quiet dominance. Real strength doesn't need to raise its voice. The ones who shout the loudest are often trying to hide something. Quiet dominance is when people listen because they trust you, or because they can't ignore the way you move through the world. Imagine a leader who speaks slowly, chooses words carefully, and never tries to fill the silence, yet every word lands heavy. That's power. It's not about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself. If you can keep your tone calm while everyone else loses theirs, you've already won the room. Why toxic people fear calm more than anger? Toxic people feed off reaction. Anger is fuel for them. It means they've pulled you into their storm. But calm is a wall they can't climb. When you stay composed, you strip away their power. They don't know what you're thinking. They can't predict your next move, and it frustrates them more than yelling ever could. Remember, calm isn't weakness, it's control. It's the quiet refusal to give them what they want. Self-worth, the shield they can't pierce. When you know your value, people's words can't cut you down. They can insult, gossip, or doubt, but it all bounces off because you've built your worth from the inside. Self-worth isn't built on praise. It's built on how you treat yourself when no one's watching. It's in the decisions you make, the boundaries you hold, and the way you refuse to lower your standards to be liked. When you carry yourself with that kind of strength, others can't break through. You've already locked the door. Strength without venom. How to win without fighting. The strongest victories are the ones where you never had to throw a punch, physical or verbal. True strength is walking away without losing your dignity. It's handling a challenge without letting it poison your spirit. You can defend yourself without turning bitter. You can stand firm without tearing someone else down. Think of it like water cutting through rock. Steady, patient, unstoppable. You don't need venom to win. You just need to keep moving forward while they waste their energy trying to pull you back, calling it by its real name. The truth about toxicity. You can't fight what you refuse to name. Toxicity isn't just bad vibes or someone having a rough day. It's a pattern, a steady drain on your energy, your confidence, and your peace. It hides behind charm, behind jokes, behind "I'm just being honest." But underneath, it's built on control, envy, and tearing others down to feel taller. The sooner you call it for what it is, the sooner you take back your clarity. Pretending it's harmless doesn't protect you, it traps you. And the longer you stay in it, the more it convinces you that you can't live without it. That's the lie you have to break. The tactics they use: manipulation, drama, and endless negativity. Toxic people rarely come at you head on. They chip away at you slowly, twisting your words until you doubt yourself. They stir up drama so you're always on edge, making you feel like you're the problem. They drop negativity like a poison drip, small enough that you question if it's even real, but steady enough to wear you down over time. These tactics aren't accidents, they're habits. Once you see them clearly, you realize it's not about you at all. It's about their need to control the story, and their fear of losing the grip they have on you. Emotional pickpockets, how they steal your peace. Some thieves don't take money, they take your energy. Emotional pickpockets know exactly how to get under your skin. They create chaos, then watch you scramble to fix it. They plant doubts, then step back while you fight with yourself. They're skilled at making you feel drained without ever lifting a finger. By the time you notice, you're running on empty, wondering why you feel so heavy after talking to them. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. Keep your emotional wallet zipped. Spotting the pattern before it traps you. Toxicity leaves a trail if you're willing to look. It starts with small moments, feeling uneasy after a conversation, noticing your mood drop when a certain person enters the room. Then come the bigger signs, constant guilt trips, sudden coldness, or kindness only when they need something. These patterns repeat, and every cycle pulls you in deeper. The trick is to catch it early, before you're too invested, before their approval feels like oxygen. If you can step back and see the pattern, you've already loosened their hold on you. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. 5. Stop letting the wrong people write your life script. Every day you're the author of your own story, but toxic people will try to steal the pen. They'll push their version of you onto your pages. The weak one, the guilty one, the one who always comes second. And if you're not careful, you'll start reading their script like it's truth. Here's the reality. You don't owe anyone a role in your life that costs you your peace. You decide who stays, who leaves, and what kind of story you're building. Stop letting people with small minds design the chapters of your life. Take back the pen and write the story you were meant to live. The first rule of power: control your energy. Control the room. Energy is contagious. Walk into a room tense and restless, and you'll pass that to everyone around you. Walk in calm, steady, and grounded, and people will adjust themselves to match you. That's the first rule of power. Control your energy, and you control the environment. This isn't about being fake or acting like nothing bothers you. It's about refusing to let outside chaos decide your state of mind. Think of it like a thermostat. Set your temperature, and the room follows. People are drawn to those who don't get pulled in every direction by every mood, every problem, every opinion. When you own your energy, you become the steady point in the storm, the one others look to without you even asking. Why reacting in anger hands them the steering wheel? The moment you explode in anger, you've handed over control. You're no longer driving the situation, they are. Anger might feel powerful in the moment, but it's a trap. Toxic people use it like bait, knowing that once you're reacting instead of thinking, they can guide the outcome in their favor. They push, you snap, and suddenly you're explaining yourself while they sit back looking calm. The real strength is in refusing to take that bait. Keep your composure, and you keep the steering wheel. Let them guess what you're thinking, not the other way around. The bait and hook, how they reel you in. They know exactly what buttons to press. It might be a sly insult, a fake compliment, or a carefully placed rumor. This is the bait. The moment you bite, defending yourself, over-explaining, or firing back, they've hooked you. Now they can pull you into arguments you didn't start, problems you didn't cause, and drama you don't need. The trick is to see the bait for what it is. When you stop taking it, they can't reel you in. You break the cycle, and they lose their grip. The power of the pause. Thinking before you strike. Pausing is not weakness, it's strategy. When someone tries to provoke you, most people respond instantly, and that's when mistakes happen. A pause gives you space to see the whole picture before you act. In those few seconds, you can choose a response that helps you, not them. It can be as simple as taking a slow breath, letting silence hang in the air, or saying, "I'll get back to you." That gap is where control lives. You can't take back words once they're out, but you can always choose to wait before sending them into the world. Mastering the silent signals, neutral tone and body language. Your words matter, but your tone and body language speak louder. A calm voice says you're in control. Rushed or shaky speech says you're not. Crossing your arms tightly, fidgeting, or avoiding eye contact sends signals you don't want to send. The goal is neutral, shoulders relaxed, voice steady, face unreadable. This doesn't mean you hide your feelings. It means you show them only on your terms. People read your body before they hear your words. Make sure it tells the story you want them to believe. Turning a blow-up into a calm shutdown. You can't stop people from trying to start a fight, but you can decide whether or not to step into the ring. When a conversation is spiraling, don't match their volume, lower yours. When they push for a reaction, give them stillness instead. Say less, move slower, and let silence do the heavy lifting. This doesn't mean you let disrespect slide. It means you end the situation on your terms. You're not avoiding conflict, you're shutting it down before it controls you. A calm shutdown leaves them with nothing to feed on, and you walk away with your peace intact. Why boundaries make toxic people squirm? Boundaries are like mirrors. They show people exactly where they stop and you begin.
Toxic people hate that. They thrive when lines are blurry, when they can step into your life anytime and take what they want, your time, your energy, your focus. Boundaries block that access. The moment you set one, you force them to deal with the fact that they don't own your attention. They might push harder, get louder, or try to make you feel guilty, but that's just proof the boundary is working. A healthy boundary isn't a wall to keep people out. It's a filter that lets the right ones in and keeps the wrong ones from draining you. If they squirm, it's because they've lost the easy access they once had. Locks on the door to your peace. Never hand over the key.
Your peace is your most valuable possession. Think of it like a home. You wouldn't hand your front door key to someone who trashes your living room. So why hand mental access to people who do the same with your emotions? Locks are your limits. You decide who gets in, how long they stay, and what behavior gets them shown the door. Once you hand over the key, getting it back is harder than you think. Guard it, keep it. And if someone doesn't respect your space, change the locks. Saying no without guilt or over-explaining a no doesn't need a 5-minute speech attached to it. Toxic people count on you to explain yourself so they can poke holes in your reasons. Keep it short. Keep it firm. No, that doesn't work for me. That's it. If you feel guilty, remember this. Every time you say yes to the wrong thing, you're saying no to the right thing. Your time and energy are not community property. They're yours to protect without apology. Guarding your time and emotional bandwidth. You only have so much to give each day. Spend it wisely. Toxic people will drain hours from your life without hesitation if you let them. They'll call with fake emergencies, keep you stuck in endless conversations, or pull you into problems that aren't yours. Guard your time like money in the bank. Set limits. End calls when you need to. Walk away when the conversation is going nowhere. The more you protect your mental space, the more energy you'll have for people and things that actually matter. Enforcing consequences without flinching. A boundary without a consequence is just a suggestion, and toxic people know it. If you tell someone what'll happen if they cross the line, follow through. No second guessing, no softening the blow because you feel bad. This isn't about being cruel. It's about teaching people how to treat you. When you show that your limits mean something, they either step back in respect or step out of your life. Both outcomes protect your peace. The key is to act with calm certainty, not anger. Shutting down manipulation in real time. Manipulation works best when you don't notice it until it's too late. The moment you feel someone twisting your words, shifting blame, or playing the victim, call it out calmly. That's not what I said. I'm not responsible for that. Keep your voice even and your tone neutral. Don't get pulled into proving yourself. That's the trap. By shutting it down as it happens, you keep control of the conversation and your energy. The longer you let it slide, the harder it is to break free. Quick recognition and direct response are your strongest tools. The value you place on yourself sets the market price. People treat you according to the price tag you hang on yourself. If you act like you're worth little, they'll believe it. If you carry yourself with quiet confidence, they'll adjust. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. Think of it like a market. If you undervalue yourself, you'll attract those who take advantage. When you know your worth, you stop settling for scraps and start attracting situations that match your value. That means walking away from anything that treats you less than you deserve. Every time you accept poor treatment, you lower your own market price. Raise it by how you speak, how you show up, and what you allow into your life. The market will follow your lead. Why insecurity is the playground of toxic people. Toxic people thrive where insecurity lives. They look for cracks in your confidence, then wedge themselves in. If you doubt yourself, they'll help you question more. If you're unsure of your worth, they'll drip-feed comparisons and subtle insults until you believe their version of you. Insecurity gives them room to maneuver. The less you depend on their opinion, the less power they have. Fill those cracks with truth about who you are and what you're capable of, and their games stop working. Become a fortress. Their arrows can't touch you. When you build your confidence from the inside out, you become untouchable to cheap shots and backhanded comments. A fortress doesn't panic at every arrow. It knows its walls will hold. That doesn't mean you don't hear the insults. It means they don't stick. You stop giving every opinion a seat at your table. Toxic people lose interest when their arrows fall harmlessly to the ground. Your strength is the wall they can't climb. Keeping your word to yourself. If you constantly break promises to yourself, you train your mind not to trust you. That's where doubt creeps in. Keeping your word to yourself is the foundation of confidence. It can be small, waking up when you said you would, finishing the task you started, sticking to your boundaries. Each time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you can be counted on. And when you trust yourself, other people's opinions start to matter less. You become your own anchor. Stop speaking against yourself. Eliminate self-deprecation. Every time you put yourself down, even as a joke, you teach others how to see you. Self-deprecating humor might seem harmless, but it slowly chips away at how you view yourself. Toxic people will notice and use your own words against you. Speak about yourself the way you'd want someone you love to speak about you. If you wouldn't say it to a close friend, don't say it to yourself. Words are seeds. What you plant grows. Stop planting weeds in your own mind. Celebrate private wins to build public confidence. Confidence grows in the dark before it shines in the light. When you achieve something big or small, take a moment to celebrate it privately. Keep track of those wins like treasures. Over time, you'll build a bank of proof that you can handle challenges and rise above setbacks. This quiet confidence changes how you move in public. People can sense when you have nothing to prove, because you've already proved it to yourself. The more you feed those private victories, the stronger and steadier your public presence becomes. Why fighting toxic people keeps you stuck in their arena. When you fight toxic people on their terms, you've already lost. Their arena is built for chaos, confusion, lies, and endless back and forth. They want you tangled up so you can't move forward. The longer you argue, the more you feed the fire. You might think you're defending yourself, but really you're stuck playing their game. The only way to win is to step out completely. Refuse the match, and they're left swinging at shadows. Your energy belongs to your growth, not to proving a point to people committed to misunderstanding you. Rise above. Growth that makes you untouchable. The most powerful revenge isn't words, it's evolution. When you rise above, you leave them talking to the version of you that no longer exists. Growth is the distance between where you are now and where they thought you'd stay. It's not about making them see, it's about making yourself proud. When your focus is on improving your skills, mindset, and opportunities, they can't keep up. You're no longer in their reach, and you don't need them to clap for your progress. You don't argue with the storm. You build a roof. A storm doesn't care how loud you shout at it. The wind won't slow because you raised your voice. Toxic people are the same. You can't reason with chaos. The smarter move is to protect yourself. Build the roof. Strengthen your shelter. Let the noise rage outside while you stay dry and safe inside. You win by staying secure, not by proving the storm wrong. Excelling quietly until they can't reach you. Sometimes the smartest move is silence. Not the silence of defeat, but the silence of focus. While they waste their time stirring trouble, you're building, learning, and stacking wins. You're removing yourself from the reach of small-minded attacks by growing in ways they can't follow. This quiet work pays off when, one day you look around and realize you're no longer even in the same world as them. You're operating at a level they can't touch, not because you fought harder, but because you built higher. And when people can't reach you, their words lose all weight. The noise stays down there, while you're up here breathing cleaner air. That's freedom. Revenge is loud, but success echoes longer. Revenge burns hot but fades fast. It might feel satisfying for a moment, but it ties you to the person you're trying to move past. Success, on the other hand, has no expiration date. It keeps echoing, year after year, in the life you build. When you choose success over retaliation, you take back all the time and energy they tried to steal. You show, not tell, that they never had the power to stop you. And while they're still talking, you're too busy living the life they said you couldn't have. Let your results speak. They'll echo long after the noise of revenge has died. When words are weapons, presence becomes your armor. Toxic people use words like blades, sharp, fast, and aim to cut deep. You can't always stop what they say, but you can control how much it lands. That's where presence becomes your armor.
When you walk, stand and speak like someone who knows their worth. Insults glance off instead of sinking in. Presence tells them they can't shake you, even if they try. It's the calm in your eyes, the steady way you breathe, the refusal to flinch. Words can hurt only if you open the door for them. Keep it closed. Dominance without aggression. The language of calm, real dominance doesn't come from force. It comes from steadiness. It's the ability to speak with clarity, without raising your voice, and still be heard. People lean in when you talk, because they feel your control, not your anger. Calm doesn't mean soft. It means deliberate. It's choosing your words like tools, not weapons. The less you push, the more they listen. The lion doesn't have to roar for the jungle to know. In the wild, the lion's power isn't proven by constant roaring. It's known by presence alone. Every creature recognizes it without being told. You can live the same way. You don't need to announce your strength or defend it to doubters. Your actions, your posture, your way of moving through life will say everything. When you carry quiet power, people sense it instantly, and they treat you accordingly. Training your presence, discipline, posture, control. Presence isn't an accident, it's built. Discipline sharpens it, posture shapes it, and control sustains it. Discipline comes from doing what you said you would, even when no one's watching. Posture is the physical proof, standing tall, moving with purpose. Control is mastering your tone, your words, and your reactions. Put them together, and you create an aura that demands respect, without asking. You can walk into any room and hold space, just by being there. That's presence, and it's trained, not gifted. Make them feel the weight of your silence. Silence, when used with intent, can be heavier than any argument. It forces people to sit with their own words, their own behavior. When someone expects a reaction and gets none, they're left exposed. Your silence says, "I don't play that game," without you having to explain it. It protects your energy and shows them you can't be baited into their chaos. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is saying nothing at all, and letting the quiet speak for you. Knowing when to walk away and when to hold the line.
Strength isn't about never backing down. It's about knowing when the battle is worth your energy. Some situations demand you hold your ground. Others are traps meant to drain you. Walking away isn't weakness when it protects your peace. Holding the line isn't stubbornness when it protects your values. The key is to read the situation clearly. If engaging won't improve the outcome, step out. If staying silent would compromise what matters most, stand firm. Avoiding conflict versus outclassing it. Avoiding conflict means sidestepping it entirely. Outclassing it means addressing it with such control that it can't touch you. The difference is in your posture, tone, and choice of words. When you outclass conflict, you're not dodging, it's just that the other side can't get a grip on you. You stay calm, state your point, and exit with your dignity intact, leaving no loose ends for them to pull. Scripts for diffusing without defending. You don't owe long speeches to people who twist your words. Keep responses short and controlled. That's not accurate. We'll agree to see it differently. I'm not getting into that. These phrases stop the game before it starts. They give no fuel for further attack and signal that you won't be drawn in. The more you defend, the more ammunition you give them. Diffuse the moment by making your point once, calmly, then moving on. Your job isn't to convince them, it's to keep your energy for people and situations that matter. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Arguments are like invitations. They can only happen if you show up. Toxic people will bait you, provoke you, and try to drag you into endless back and forths because it keeps you on their level. But you have a choice. You can decide that your time is worth more than winning a petty exchange. Sometimes the most powerful move is to stay out of the arena entirely. That means ignoring the comments, walking away mid-sentence, or changing the subject without apology. Every argument you skip is a victory for your peace. Let them fight with themselves, you've got better places to be. From being drained to becoming untouchable. There was a time when every little jab, every cold look, every sly comment got to you. You gave away your energy like it was endless, and people took it without hesitation. But somewhere along the way, you decided enough was enough. You learned to set limits, to guard your peace, to stop explaining yourself to those who weren't listening. Now the things that once drained you barely register. You've built strength from the inside out. You're no longer at the mercy of their storms, you've become the calm they can't touch.